In the early morning hours of January 5, 2000, something unusual unfolded over southern Illinois. While most people were asleep, multiple police officers across different towns began reporting the same thing in the sky, something none of them could identify. It was around 4 a.m. when officers in Millstadt, Dupo, and Highland noticed a massive object hovering overhead. What made the situation extraordinary wasn't just the object itself, but who was seeing it. These were on-duty police officers, trained observers, in separate locations, all describing the same craft. They reported a large, silent, triangular or arrowhead-shaped object moving slowly across the sky. Some estimated it to be as long as a football field and roughly 2 stories tall. The craft had bright white lights on its corners and a red light in the center. There was no engine noise, no rotor sound, and no jet noise, just silence. One Millstadt officer viewed the object through binoculars, allowing for a clearer look. According to his account, the object wasn't traveling fast. It hovered, drifted, and moved deliberately, almost as if it were cruising rather than flying. At times it appeared to stop completely before continuing on its path. What's important here is that these officers were not all standing together. They were in different towns, miles apart, and yet the descriptions matched. The object was visually tracked as it moved across St. Clair County, eventually heading toward the Illinois-Missouri state line. At least one civilian, Melvin Knoll, also reported seeing the same object, independently confirming what officers were observing. This wasn't a single report passed around over the radio and repeated. It was multiple first-hand observations occurring in real time. One of the most well-known witnesses was Millstadt police officer Craig Stevens. Like the others, he stated clearly that what he saw did not resemble any conventional aircraft he was familiar with. Law enforcement officers regularly see planes, helicopters, and military aircraft. Several involved in this incident emphasized that this was different. After the sighting, questions followed. Was it military? Was it experimental? Was it even detected? According to reports at the time, the U.S. Air Force indicated there were no known aircraft operating in the area that night. Radar systems reportedly showed nothing unusual. No official explanation was provided that definitively accounted for what was seen. Over the years, skeptics have proposed alternative explanations, including high-altitude balloons, misidentified aircraft, or psychological group influence. However, none of these explanations fully account for the object's reported size, silent operation, slow controlled movement, and the number of trained observers involved. The incident became known as the St. Clair Triangle and was later featured in documentaries, including UFO Over Illinois. It even made its way into popular culture, inspiring the song concerning the UFO sighting near Highland, Illinois by Sufjan Stevens. In later years, there were additional reports of strange lights in St. Clair County, though those incidents were smaller in scale and often attributed to satellites or other ordinary explanations. None matched the scope or credibility of the January 5, 2000 sighting. More than 2 decades later, the St. Clair Triangle remains unexplained. No confirmed aircraft, no radar data, no official resolution. What makes this case stand out isn't speculation, it's consistency. Multiple police officers, independent observations, detailed descriptions, and a lack of any confirmed explanation. Whatever was in the sky over southern Illinois that morning, it left behind one of the most credible and puzzling UFO reports in the state's history. And to this day, the question remains unanswered.